Okay, so hello and welcome. This is the part three of Crafty Banter, and we are slowly developing to a show. I already see a few of you in the comments. Hello, Karen, and hello, Debbie. And today, my positive guest will be my German friend. You can see her artwork over here. And I met her just when I moved here, and she gave me the most warm welcome. And we stay in touch. So please say hello to my very good friend Andrea from Creative Creations. Woo!
Hi all, hi everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I will put a few hellos on the screen so you can see people who are rolling in because I can see them all the time. Okay. Okay. So we will start from uh, I would like you to tell a little bit more to my viewers about some stuff because you are a very positive person. Your art is very positive, full of vibrant colors that make people smile, and you also have very positive lifestyle that developed during those last 6 years that we know each other. I feel that you developed that close to nature style of living, and yeah, tell us a little bit more about the positive journey.
I'm trying my best to make it a positive journey, even though sometimes it's a little difficult, especially in like the crazy times right now. Yeah, so basically, I think for those who don't know me yet, I'm a mixed media artist and I'm living close to Berlin, Germany. And yeah, what I do is fun, playful, whimsical watercolor art and mixed media art. And especially, I like to create like whimsical, playful portraits, girl portraits, and in very
I will put
colorful.
I will put some art for people to watch. You can
Oh yeah.
keep on talking so then people can check out your some of your creations.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. Yeah, so whimsical, playful, colorful, mixed media watercolor pieces. Because I don't know, it's just something inside of me that wants to come out, and I always say it's like my inner child coming out to play. And sometimes I also like to do more realistic work, sketches, everyday sketches. But sometimes I'm always like taken back to those like whimsical, playful pieces because it's a little bit maybe like an escape from reality. I think, I don't know, it's just how I roll, and it just makes me happy to create those pieces. And for me it is like actually the most important thing to yeah, that what I create, and while I'm creating, that it just makes me happy, that it puts me in a happy place, right? So I usually just follow my intuition and follow my heart. And that's why I guess my art and the work that I do and the work that I share is very, very I go through phases with my work. Sometimes it's just very colorful, playful, whimsical, and a couple weeks later it could be more realistic, everyday sketches, travel sketches, and then very nature inspired, very grounded, very down to earth. So it always my artwork always kind of changes with me. So I'm a person, I have a very, very, very strong Gemini energy. I have always like many different pots on the stove. And I like to dip my toes into many different things. I'm just always so excited to try new things and to mix things up, to combine things, different styles, different elements. And I'm also very passionate, multi interested in many different things. And whatever I'm usually interested in my life right now, um, it also influences my art. It has a very, very
it
deep
reflects it, because when you watch your artworks, because when we met like 6 years ago, I would say that you already have really, maybe not fully, because I like to say that non-artist is ever fully developed. If you think you are fully developed, something is wrong. But
No,
you
it's
already had your style, and by following, and I can say that it's more and more nature and spiritual inspired, very whimsical, fairy tale like, and oh my God. Yeah, we have more comments. I'm getting a little bit distracted because I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at the comments, and I want to say everything that.
I don't see the comments, so I can't be distracted by that. That's a good thing.
Yeah. For now, we still have hellos.
Hello is always good. Hello.
Yeah, and
And
people already saying hello to each other on the chat. And of course, you got really nice comments about the art. Okay. So, because for me, this whole weird situation that happened, that actually affects all of us, because you are also a teacher and you also teach in-person classes, because your online classes, you can teach from home, or they probably pre-recorded at least part of them. Yeah, but the real classes, for me, everything was cut off, and I was scared what I will do. And I turned to the community, and I was so pleased and surprised with the feedback, because while we are here, because I discovered that talking with positive people about positive, good stuff, send out the good vibes for everyone who needs them.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you never
definitely.
know who will need those vibes.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
raising your vibration, because like outside everything's crazy. And I also figured that over the last months with the pandemic and with all the terrible things going on, that the how do I say, the community of positive people who want to inspire others and work together, that synergy, it became so much stronger. And I also got so much like positive support over the last months, and thank God most of my teachings, they happen online. So lately I haven't done a lot of live classes, so I wasn't that affected by everything being cancelled, because the online thing is still going like more or less normal. But yeah, I think over the past month it just showed like how important that yeah, that positive connection between people all over the world can be, and it can be like a real like grounding stone. And it's just so helpful, and to also feel the like support and understanding of other people who are in the same situation, and we are all in this together, we are all in the same boat kind of. So I think it is just a wonderful thing that nowadays we have those possibilities like the internet, and
yeah,
getting connected, Zoom calls or video calls, live calls. That's amazing. I mean, if you think back 100 years, when there was that what was it called, this Spanish flu, I think.
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
mix it up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And you were
But you
like
are
totally
right. It was
isolated.
Spanish flu that wiped
Yeah.
like whole bunch of Europe mostly.
Yeah, and if you just think how isolated you have been back then, and you didn't had all this information. I mean, sometimes the information can be like way too much. You really have to take yourself out of it, because especially in the
Yeah,
beginning of this whole pandemic thing, we were all watching like the news 24/7, and you were like, it was just way too much to take in. So I
yeah, and
really,
especially that information was like disinformation
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
lot of the times. Yeah, so I really appreciate that positive community that I
Yeah.
discovered, because I feel that, it came along with my personal change journey development. So everything folded so nicely. And I just, I just feel those people supporting me all the time.
Yes.
And those are, fellow YouTubers or influencers or artists that are on the screen, and people who are not sharing the screen, but we meet in the comments. And at some point, I was just visiting any stream, and just by nicknames on the comments, I could say that, okay, I know everyone. I can settle
Yeah.
down and we can joke around. It reminded me the old vintage times when I started my adventure with internet, and you have the chat rooms that you
Yeah.
enter according your interests. So yeah, there was also, regulars already know each other, click to each other, and whole experience was so just, you know positive and cozy, and it's just like virtual artsy hug that we are all together. We are coming
Yeah.
together just to do something fun, or like right now, chit chat about fun stuff. um okay, so Nuneka says that she's another multi-interested Gemini, and that's actually
Yay!
true. Yeah, and she tried to claim that that was not Spanish disease. Yeah, actually, it wasn't from Spain, but
I know it's just
that's
called.
how it was called. So
It was called like
no
that. So
offense to Spanish people. We don't blame you
absolutely
for anything.
not. Absolutely not.
Okay, I would like you to tell a little bit more about the Oracle deck and cards, because I know a little bit about them. But if you would start from the beginning, I will insert the video footage because now I know how. So Andrea will tell us about this amazing, amazing thing. Um, uh, they are all hand painted. Thank you, husband. You are such a nice person. Okay. So let's start. Where is Oracle? Oh my God. Yes, here we have the cards.
Yeah. So Oracle Dive was actually my project of this year so far. I maybe let's start in the beginning. I have been a collector and lover of oracle decks and tarot decks for quite a few years now. And in the beginning, I actually started to collect oracle decks because of the beautiful artwork. There are so amazing oracle decks out there with amazing artwork. And I always wanted to create an oracle deck myself. And I kind of pushed it away for quite a maybe 2 years even. I started a couple of times, but kind of always fell off the bandwagon after 2, 3, 4, 5 cards because you have to put together well at least like 40 cards. My deck consists of 48 cards, which is quite a task if you imagine that you have to come up and invent and draw and color and paint and get ready and like 48 plus cards. But this time at the beginning of the year, that was kind of my goal for this year. And I sat down, I think mid January, and started. And my intention was to create cards that kind of you can read in a very intuitive way. So I kind of want each and every card to kind of tell a story because for those of you who maybe not like into oracle cards and decks, most of the oracle decks they come with a guidebook and you pull a card and sometimes you can just from looking at it, very intuitively get a vibe, get an idea of what the card is trying to tell you. But there are also decks out there where you pull a card and you look at it and you think like, what? What? And then you read like 2, 3, 4 pages in the guidebook. And for me, this kind of takes away a little bit of the fun and of this intuitive connection to a deck. So I really wanted the cards to, or each card to tell a story. And yeah, I think it took me like maybe actually 7, 8 weeks to draw and color and finish all the cards, which I was quite surprised actually, because I thought it would take a lot longer. However, once I got started, I was so hooked and I was so into it. I was just like drawing day and night, and I was like crazy.
We could follow that actually, because a lot of the cards you shared on your social media, either the finished pieces, but often you do the thing when you post like work in progress, when you already have your line work down. So after one day or a few days, I think it depends on your schedule, you can see how from the outline, what did you do, and how you made it even more whimsical. And I love your choice and brave color palettes, because you always pick something that I'm not a green person. I like to say that green, in my opinion, personal opinion, is not very creative color. It's a color for leaves and grass, and that's it. But from the cards, one of my favorites would be the green one, the earth, the earthy card that we have on the screen, and I'm trying to show everyone with my finger on my screen.
Yeah, well, I tried to pick the colors actually based on the message of the cards, and green. To be honest, I also wasn't a green person. I always more like pinks and turquoise, but the more I got that connection to nature over the past years, the more this nature influence kind of creeped into my work. So I'm using a lot more greens and browns and just those like earthy colors. And I figured I have
still very, very vibrant. It's earthy, but in my when I take earthy colors for a spin, you will end up with very dark and grungy vibe. And you take the same color palette and make it so vibrant and just popping at you with this joyful energy. Okay, I have one more question. Which one is your favorite? I'm sure you have the favorite one.
Of the cards?
Yes.
Oh, that's that kind of actually it was always the one that I've been working on that I just finished. Oh, that's a new favorite. But if I would have to decide, I actually think those two cards, maybe that's why they're up on my wall. I'm not sure if you can see that back there. No,
yes.
the other way around. Up there. We have the card, which in my architect is the mask. Like she's with a sad face and is always wearing that mask, always smiling, always joyful. And I think we all know that that feeling, that sometimes it's good to take off that mask and be yourself and show your true authentic self, even though it's okay to cry, even it's okay to share if you're upset, if you are sad, if you're not happy. It's not always like happy joy, right? And the other favorite is up there. The goddess card. This is the Venus of Villendorf, inspired by the Venus of Villendorf, which is like a little statue that was found in the south of Germany. I think 23,000 BC. Now, let me check before I tell you. So 23,000 before Christ. So it's very, very, very old, and it shows this this ancient goddess figure, which with her like round like fertility body, and I don't know, I just can connect to that goddess figure and to that like feminine, because quite
Yeah, and
obviously
don't you
I'm
think that
similar to her.
it's kind of interesting, because if you will look at the art all around the world around the same period, how different the idea of beauty and what's beautiful was, because
Yes, yeah,
all
definitely.
all the goddesses everywhere, maybe except Greece, because they like thin sculptures. But all the other ones, they were always, very full silhouette with similar features.
Yeah,
So
just the like the fertility of the like the mother figure, which I really, it kind of resonates with me quite obviously because maybe I can relate to it, and it kind of shows that it's not that there's not just this one beauty standard, but we come in all shapes and sizes, and we are all worthy, right? So yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
and
Those are
that
my two
that part of your art also really resonates with me, because you had the series. I'm pretty sure that it's still the class that people can take, or it was your past class when you did your girls in all the colors, in
Yeah,
with all skin tones, with
yeah,
all
it was
possible,
exactly. I see this
hair,
video.
very, very inclusive and very cool thing to do. And love that project. I don't know if I have slides for them. I will look at it in 1 second, but I have a question about your nature driven lifestyle, because as I follow you, I see how it progressed. I think that you are quite close to nature. Soon after we met, you got married, and your wedding was so, like, not uh, over the top, not rub it in your face. I watched, pictures, and I was thinking that, oh my God, your guests have to feel amazing, because you could say that it was a celebration, but with in very cool vibe. And since then, you progress more and more into this kind of lifestyle, and it
Yeah.
interests me very much.
Yeah, that wedding, we wanted a different type of wedding, and maybe let me add that I have been a wedding photographer with my own wedding photography business for I think for 7 or 8 years before I slowly quit that part, gave it up for my art to spend more time with my art. And so I have photographed like hundreds of weddings, and I've seen so much and I've seen it all. And we just didn't want it that same wedding that we experienced over and over again as a photographer. And yeah, I'm into, I love that, not vintage vibe, but that old fashioned way. I don't know. And so
Yeah,
we
you can say that it was a vintage vibe. I would say
yeah,
that it was just, a cottage house vibe with a lot of nature element, a lot of lights. It
yeah,
was
yeah. We
very
picked a
cozy, very, very cool.
yeah, we picked a destination or a location um in the countryside. It's a little like actually it's an old forest school close to where we live. It's like in a beautiful countryside, and we picked a wedding date in October 22nd, because me and Thomas, we both love autumn. It's just so beautiful with all the colors, and we also had a very small, intimate wedding. We didn't want it to like like you said, in your face. We didn't want it to represent something. Like with a wedding, you can go wild and crazy and blow it up way
Yeah,
above what you actually
bridezilla
want.
full on.
And we really wanted that only like the people who are closest to our hearts, and we really wanted it to be our day and the way we wanted. And we made everything ourselves. I handcrafted everything. We went picking fall leaves and like, what are they called, castanien, those little brown pink stuff.
Chestnuts.
Yeah, exactly, for the decoration, and the
Oh my God,
flowers
I
all.
knew the German word. I'm so impressed with myself right now.
So it was a DIY wedding, but that was exactly what we wanted. And also my dress was different than the normal dresses that you can find in the most bridal shops. And Thomas wore like a very old-fashioned, like grandpa style suit. I think it's called suit. Yeah.
I'm not sure how you call the other one, but we can call it suit. I'm not sure how you call the other.
What actually
tuxedo? Yeah.
the thing the groom is wearing. We ordered that from Scotland. Because in Germany we just couldn't find what we were looking for, and in Scotland, quite obviously, that was like a style that people wear more often for weddings, quite obviously. So we ordered that there, and it also brought in our love for Great Britain, for England, for Scotland, and for Ireland. It's just the home of our hearts.
Yeah, I can tell it by your holiday pictures. Every year you post really amazing pictures. I love the one that you did, I think last year, from Stonehenge. Stone. Oh my God. Yeah, the circle of stones. You posted really, really cool pictures.
Yeah, we love it there, and that's also this like connection to nature and to how to the old ways, like with in our world where everything is louder, larger, faster. For me and for us, it kind of feels good to take a step back and to really get back to the old ways a little more, to connect to nature spirituality. And so that plays a bigger and bigger role in my life over the last years. And only recently I also started to share a little more about it, because usually I tried to, I don't know, it just felt safe to have this as my own little like
It
escape.
always feels safe to have it only for yourself. Okay, guys, I will post right now on the chat, on both of our chats, the link. If you want to join us on the screen with camera or not, you can also join only with your voice. You have to click it, and then it will just take you here. We will continue chit-chatting, but I just want to put the option out there for everyone. Okay. So, it always feels safe to keep it like inside. And I can't say that I'm very super private person, because I post quite a lot of myself, but it's also, it will not be everything, because I just don't feel comfortable with this level of engagement. I'm super happy to share a super extraordinary meal, and I love to watch my friends eating a meal, but maybe not every day, and maybe not each single bite of it, and maybe not each meal per day. This this amount is not for me, but when you share it, it also moves people, like because you started to share it at the end of last year, I would say, and he just sneaked a little more spiritual photo. From what I remember, last year you also made a cool project. It was something super unexpected. for me from you. I think you nettle felted like a whole doll.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
also inspiration with the goddess.
Yeah. Those needle felted dolls. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. It's so out of your box. How did you came up with the idea? Oh, I like to draw a nice watercolor faces. Now I will needle felt, and it just came out great.
Yeah, that's me, because I sometimes see things. I can actually the needle felting. I think I saw this last year on a, like, we went to one of those farmers markets in autumn, and they were working with, like, I always love to work with like nature materials. So I'm also, 2 years ago I started like wood burning, but for me that's, I can't wait to get started again. For me that's a thing that kind of belongs to autumn and winter. Like I'm just starting with this,
It's so
but
cool.
I just love to work with nature elements, and I also try to incorporate into my, even into my drawings and paintings and mixed media projects, like little crystals and little stones and shells and twigs that I find in the woods. And there was some a woman working with sheep wool. She was actually spinning it. And then she was felting like little things to put under a cup, to put it on, like on the
Yeah.
table, like little coasters or something. And then oh, that was so cool. And then I checked the internet. I remembered, I think 2 years ago, I even ordered one of those little dolls from Etsy, and it kind of all clicked. And I said, oh, that would be a cool thing, especially now in the darker season when I spend more time inside. And sometimes I just want to do a little bit something different than painting and drawing and the usual thing. Yeah, so I ordered a bunch of wool, and I just get started, and it was so fun. And but I also kind of hesitate a little with sharing everything that I do, not because I don't want to, but I'm kind of afraid that I'm like I'm
You want to
overpowering
keep it
people.
for yourself.
No, I don't. No, but because even my family and my friends, they're like, oh, you're picking up again something new, and what are you doing now? So I feel like if I share everything that I do and that I'm into, people might think like, well, what is she doing? Is she like painting? Is she doing watercolor? Is she doing mixed media? Is she doing clay work? Is she doing wood burning? Is she doing needle felting? I'm actually doing it all, but it's just so difficult because you're told on social media, and if you want to create like a good online presence, first of all, you're supposed to be authentic, which I'm all for being authentic. But on the other hand, they tell you to like have a perfect what is it called, the feed, the screen is the
Yeah, set up the wall. Oh my God.
yeah, like if you look at
Yeah, I
Instagram,
know
it's
what
all
you mean. When you open
perfectly.
Instagram, everything color coordinates and
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's just not working for me. I try to keep it more or less like cohesive so that people at least know, people who follow me. I think most people who know me and follow me and know me for my paintings and for the watercolor stuff. But and I'm afraid if I overshare too much other of the other things, it's like people think, oh, what is she doing now? Why am I following this person? I never followed somebody who's doing like needle felting, you know. And
But you know what? I think that it might surprise you how it will work because I always hesitated. I'm still full of complex regards my videos, especially I know how to edit, I know how to film, but when I'm filming, I'm forgetting that I'm filming. So my desk never looks camera friendly. There is always, like bunch of shit everywhere, just piles of stuff. And you can see it in the camera. I think that on one of the bigger projects, when it took me few approaches to the project, and I was turning off and on the camera because nobody have to know that I'm sitting for 2 hours and just holding it to dry. So I was switching it off and on, and not only me, but also my viewers could notice how much time had passed because in front of me started to grow the collection of mugs that I have been using through that time. And we have somebody who will join us on the screen. Okay, Leanne, for now, I'm the only person who can see you. Can I put you up on the screen? You have to knock your head because we cannot hear you until you are on the screen. Okay, so let's say hello to Leanne. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Leanne.
Sorry, you'll probably see the cat in a minute. I know where you're coming from with all the variety.
Yeah, I actually had to lock my cat out of the room because otherwise she would be like right here in front of the camera.
Yeah, mine seems to know when I'm on a conference call in work as well.
Yeah, they have that thing. They sense the same thing. Like if you have very important guests and a cat, you may be sure that the cat will come to clean himself in the most secret places on the middle of the room when everyone just settle down. The cat will just come and make a statement.
Yeah, I
Mine
have
just
so
goes
many
meow.
videos actually where she's like running in front of the camera and then like turning her back into the camera. And all that.
He is there.
Brilliant. How is your day going?
Oh, it's going good. I know how you feel about doing different things. Every time somebody says, "Oh, what are you doing now?" and I'm like, "Well, I'm making cards, or I'm knitting, or I'm crocheting." I'm afraid to tell them really what I'm doing
Me too.
because they
Sometimes
think you're
the person's
bonkers.
like, "Oh, you're picking up another thing, or even another thing."
Sorry, I gotta just pop that back up.
But I think that people at least like me and apparently like you, and now we have another one, and I'm sure that in the chat we'll also find few people who will agree. We are all doing a bunch of different stuff. As long as
Yeah,
it's creative, as long as it sparks joy, then why not?
Yeah, and I
exactly.
realized lately when I started actually to share more of the other things that I'm interested in, it just feels so much better to me and feels so much more authentic. And not to think, oh, should I share this? Can I share this? What will people think? I'm a person. I've always been like that. What do people think? But lately, I realized that they will think whatever they think. Whatever I'm doing, they will.
Yeah.
There will always be people.
Yeah,
And it just feels so much better to just share from your heart, no matter when it is, and not to like worry too much about what people may think. There will be people who don't like it and who maybe don't agree with what you share, but then again there are a lot of new people coming in who like
Yes, who
exactly
are
that.
also, I started whole artistic journey. I started it from making jewelry, and then I went to scrapbooking, card making, and then to mixed media, and now I kind of settled. But lately, I'm going back a little bit to jewelry because I rediscovered that I can use resin with the cool stuff, and I can make my own cool charms, and I can work on that. I can play with colors in resin and save this. I call it watercolor swirl. When you have perfectly clean glass with water for your watercolors, and you dip your brush with the paint for the first time, you have this beautiful colorful twister that goes over there just for a couple of seconds. So in resin, I can save that moment. I can make this swirl space. So now
That's
I'm
cool.
getting back to it, but I'm up for much more than I boxed myself into, I think, because it's a discovering of yourself, and a lot of cool things can happen. With like themed hobs, I love to have the theme, even if it's not my theme, because I can try out something new.
I get bored of doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, because
So I've been doing a lot of mixed media lately, and I haven't made any cards in over a year. So the last 2 nights I spent making cards.
yeah, because
I've got all the
Christmas is
stuff
coming.
here.
It's a
Coming
good
back in
time
the
to
perfect
start.
timing. Yeah, it's just the perfect timing. It's always coming back, and then you will rediscover old things. It's same with me. Like I've been, you know that I've been scrapbooking, I've been card making, stamping. I've done it all, and then just moved on. But I really like this. Like Olga said, like this combining what you do now, maybe with something you did earlier, like with the resin and jewelry making, and if you continue to do just one thing, like you said, Leanne, it's getting boring, and if you try new things, it's fresh again, and it keeps you excited, and it keeps you inspired and creative, and maybe at a certain point you feel that call to do something again that you did earlier, and all of a sudden it's that joy is back, right? And I just love that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and that,
it's the cat
you know,
sneezing.
no worries. Bless you. I really love discover new things and play with them. Most of them will not work for me in the long distance, but I often, see something online, watch somebody doing something cool, and I will have this one crazy idea about the product, and I will go and buy it. And if idea will work and it will work beautifully, then yeah, that's the keeper. I'm dragging it into my arsenal. But often it does not work because it's totally something else than I thought of. So then I have a product that I can share with another person, and in this way we are passing around a bunch of stuff, so everyone can try it out, can see what it's like. I made like 10 approaches to jelly plate. I'm still convinced that we are not friends at all, but from some kind of reason, just whole process of making the print gives me joy, and I love other people works with that, and that inspires me. And even if my prints turn into crap, then oh well, I will do something else. The most important part is the
The
joy of
process.
spreading the paint, and then this in, when you are impatient, scrubbing. Oh my God, what will come out? What will come out? And usually it's nothing nice, but I'm still excited.
It's the
I
process
actually
of
always love
discovery.
that moment when you lift up the paper and you finally see the result. I just love that. Most of the time, I wasn't happy with the result either, but it was just so much fun. And for me, I think it's also important that you enjoy the process. It's not
Yes,
always about it's not always about the outcome. You know, so many like watercolor pieces, just teeny tiny sketches and watercolor plays, how I call them. I never share anywhere because they're not worth sharing. But I just had so much fun. I just had such a good time. And sometimes that's just exactly what I need. I don't need to sometimes it's just too way too much pressure to go for a perfect result. But it's just so rewarding to just sit down for the process of it. So I think that's like very healing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't share
I'm
everything in my
trying.
art journal for that reason. It's kind
Yeah.
of my little play area, and where I just leave everything behind and forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it.
Yeah,
But
Just
but
the
are you
outside
sharing,
world.
or you are
no.
doing it only for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I ask if you are sharing your art journals, or you are doing them just for yourself, just for the sake of doing them and never show them anywhere. How does it work for you? Because I have some stuff that I don't share because I just don't think that it will not. Um, it's not like well received, because I have put up some works that I'm not pleased with, because that was the feedback that I got from people, in the comment section, that they like when I leave the moments that something failed in the video, not because they want to see me fail, just because for all of us there is a moment, maybe not on each project, but usually on the ones that you are most happy with at the end and struggle the most while you are doing them, you make mistakes and you saving the project. At the end, it might be a new favorite, but you did certain stuff wrong in the process, and people want to see it because they may make mistakes all the time. And it's perfectly fine to share maybe not the best artwork every time. With the streams, I'm kind of famous that I will never make it. We have like 1 hour and a half, and usually I'm sitting with my tiny project for a whole day, like 10 streams, and I'm on each one of them. And at the 10th one, maybe I'm finishing my piece to make me completely happy. But as long as it sparks joy, I'm a strong believer in the sparking joy mission. I did sparking joy cleaning of the apartment, and I think that everything that sparks joy, we should do it more.
You cleaned the
And
apartment?
yeah,
What's clean?
I know how it sounds. I know how it sounds. It was awful. It took amazing amount of time to take every single piece. And does it spark joy or not? Do I want to keep it or not?
That would
But
take me forever.
Yeah.
it took a while, to be fair. But I was so happy at the end with the feeling of accomplishment, because a few years ago you inspired me to do the advent thing, because you are doing like something artsy every day. I think it was your first artistic advent thing, when you shared a lot of things, as well as the printables for people to print out. Oh yeah, I can put up the printables now while I'm blabbling. 1 second, because I
My cat's
totally
drinking
forgot.
out the pink pot,
Yeah, I totally.
my water pot.
Happens to me all the time.
You will
You've
not
not
believe
done
how
that
many
before.
times I drink my paint water. Okay, I can put up the printables. Yeah, so you inspired me to make like whole 24 days of videos and live streams. And, not all the projects were my favorite, but I did 24 of them. And I felt really, really good when I finished that. It was a struggle. So I don't think I would be up for it one more time. But finishing that was such a cool feeling. Like, yeah, I set up the goal and I did it. I would be not able to do, like, for example, Inktober, because I'm leaking consistency. But this year I'm doing something Inktobery on October. So
I don't even try anymore to keep up with any of those challenges. I know I will do Inktober, but I'm pretty sure I will just. There's so many cool challenges out there, different Spooktober and whatnot. There's so many different ones, so I will just pick whatever resonates with me that day, and maybe I'm definitely not doing it each and every day, just whenever I find the time and the inspiration, and to really take that pressure off of me, because I remember it just puts so much pressure on me if you join those challenges and you intend to keep up with it, so I don't even try anymore.
okay, so we have some comments that I
I
missed.
agree, Nunu.
Nuneka says that I create for myself, and then I always think it's a pity not to share it. And yeah, you're right, because often I find that, especially Nuneka, she's very critical of her own artwork. She look at the piece that everyone are like, wow, it's so nice, and she's like, yeah, but yeah. So definitely
I'm
you
like
should
that.
share more. The ones that I'm not sharing are unshareable, but I will probably share them in the October because I can go a little bit more spooky and bloody at this
But
month.
you never know how people receive what you think is not worthy sharing, because so often I'm maybe not like super happy with a project, but I share it anyway, and in the end it gets like such a great feedback and result that it's like
Yeah.
super surprising for me. And sometimes I share a project that I spent days on and I'm so excited and so proud and think that's so cool, I just love it, and it goes like blah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I've had a few of those.
we all have like a different we look at things differently. So and I also think I think that's one thing that I wanted to say, because I think it's so important, to really also show what we are not so proud of, or like you said, Olga, to share the process even if it's not working out. Because one thing that I hear again and again and again in my classes and in general is, and that was actually a thing that I believed in the beginning, before when I started drawing, I always thought, if you draw something, if you paint something, if you create something, it needs to look good and look perfect each step of the way. But that's not the case. Almost every drawing, painting, whatever, goes through this ugly stage, and then you have to
Yeah,
push through.
that was
You
the
have to push
question that
through.
I wanted to ask. I mean, for most of my projects, ugly stage is super extended.
In other words,
But
you put it to the side.
the important part is that the pretty is not what we call pretty. The pretty things are the ones that you like. And for everyone, I love the creepy stuff. I love the skulls. And I love all this a little bit gory and macabre vibes that you can get. I love Berlin here because the goth culture is very strong, so it's really easy to came across cool things. So that part is super cool. But I love this vibe, and for most of the people, it's like, no, it's dark, it's sad. Even my mom, she's always like, no, you always get something with the skull, and skull is, like the dead people, and eh, so it's hard to come out of the shell when for so many years you were taught that something is, not appropriate or not well seen or will be not well received because of the weird stereotypes. Um, okay, we also have, remember, oh, my first live stream. Oh my god, that was a disaster. I still have. Oops, sorry. That was the wrong comment. Uh,
There's some
uh,
stages of ugly, though, that you get the gesso out, and that's that. Start again.
yeah, but sometimes for me it's easier to toss away the project and start it over because it depends. There are projects when I'm, for example, using some bit that I have the very last one or only one piece, and I already used it and it's already there and it's already attached. So then I will save the project at any cost just to not waste this one little precious thing that I was holding in my stash for this very special project. Now I just made a mess. No, it cannot be like that. So if I can salvage the part, then I will scratch over the same concept and I will repeat that process until it will come out nice and like in my head. I will not take anything less even into the consideration. If I have it in my head, it have to be almost identical like in my head. So usually I just start something with no concept what it will be. So we don't know what will happen at the end. So I will be not disappointed.
That's I gave that up long ago, like planning the outcome of a project, because I know even back in the times when I was scrapbooking, there were a thing called, I think, what is it called, scrap lift challenge. If you like grab a
Yeah,
layout and try
yeah,
to
that
like
was
quickly
scrap
the layout,
scraply.
and mine always ended up way different. There was no resemblance to the inspiration layout. And so whenever I totally gave up that, I just have like an idea or a color scheme in mind or whatever, and then just go from there and see where it takes me, because everything else is like it's just not working for me. In the end, it looks completely different than I initially planned, so I gave up this pre-planning.
But you know, with like scrap lifts or taking retake on somebody else artwork or style, I really love it. I never come, you know, if you will put those two together, you would never say that mine was inspired by something, but usually I will take, you know, like little bits, little small things. And I'm scared that this weekend we will have a hop, because with the hope, every time I spot something that other person have, and they're doing this amazing thing with that, and I'm thinking that, oh my god, I need it in my life. Yeah, and then we end up with me having to spark joy everywhere because craft suppliers just overgrew whole apartment.
And then you have
And
to take everything again and ask if it's, yeah. I have so much
yeah,
stuff
but
left, which
some of
get rid
the
of.
stuff are in basement, but they are sorted out in very German way. I even have the labels on. So you
Wow.
know, wow! I even put the labels only in the basement to find stuff easily, but I did it. I'm so proud. Okay, in theory, we should wrap it up, but I wanted to also ask you a little bit about the spiritual journey. Do you want to chit chat a little bit about it, or would you prefer to save it for another time? Because you,
How much time do we have? I think we only have like 2 minutes left, right? Or
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
we can go over
Okay.
time a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Well,
you know, we can at least start the topic because we can meet again.
yeah. Well, spiritual journey. That's for me. That's like with my art. It's a process, and like I already began to mention that probably, I don't know, it's kind of all coming together over the last years. Our love to Ireland, Scotland, our love for the Celtic tradition, the
And
Celtic.
Wales, you missed Wales. I'm from Wales.
Yeah. and all of this, it's kind of um making me realize, or made me realize, that I'm drawn back to the old ways, like the wheel of the year, like our ancestors did follow the wheel of the year, getting a lot more into like the wheel of the year, the moon phases, nature, and the influence it has on us. I realized that I feel so much more grounded and connected to everything that's going on around me. Yeah, and again, it's really a spiritual journey for me. It's not like a box that I can put myself into
Yeah.
now, but it's really like learning, discovering, and I'm also like taking workshops. I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm listening to podcasts. I just love to learn and like absorb new
Because
things.
you know, for me, it's every time is super fascinating to learn new stuff about things that I had no idea idea about. And it's not like I don't have interest in that, but I like to explore stuff and go, to the bottom, even if it's something, like, for example, I know that I would be the worst Buddhist ever.
Somebody doesn't like spiders.
No, I love them. I overcome the spider fear. Wait, where is Charlie? Oh my God, no. Okay, so Charlie will make his appearance quite soon on the channel because I have like huge spider that will be altered. So the fear of spiders, it's not that bad. I hate flies, for example. Now
And
I'm
moths
teaming
is
up
mine.
with spiders against wasps and flies. So Buddhist, no, but the whole idea and all the messages that are behind were really interesting to me. So I asked all my friends that were into that, what is your approach to that? We had a lot of discussions, not like arguments, but kind of maybe, but that's how I talk.
Debates.
Yeah, because it's not about convincing someone to my point of view or them convincing me. It's just, getting to know uh, each other beliefs and cultures, because I find it that it's actually really, mind opening and life changing if you sometimes look at the other perspective.
Yeah, and it's also like enriching. That's why I don't want to put myself or what I think, what I believe in a box, because like you said, you talk to somebody and you can always like pick different elements like meditation or just from different spiritual directions. And for me, that's totally fine. It's like a very eclectic thing. You don't have to be like a Buddhist in order to meditate like that, for example, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like really enriching if you like have a conversation with somebody about spiritual ways, about things, about cultures, different cultural approaches, and you can always take something out of it and kind of integrate it into your own belief system or into your own spiritual way, and this way kind of
Yeah, each
form
thing just
something.
adds to your thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And I just love that it's always, it's ever evolving, it's ever growing, and it becomes a more and more clear, like the image where I see myself, and it just becomes more and more clear the more I share and the more I learn, and the more I dig into it. So that for me, it's just very, very fulfilling.
yeah, and
And so,
it's like with the positive attitude, more you share, more you getting from it. Because I think that as artists, we all are somehow to some stage, we have the need of this either a spiritual thing, let's call it thing, because everyone can believe what they want, but we are looking for something more. So you can go either to the spiritual way or very scientific one. And yeah, it can cause so many cool conversations. Yeah, I would definitely would like to revisit the topic.
yeah, me too. I can talk about a lot about that. I can talk because it's just such a rich, deep topic after all, and especially because it's kind of all interlocking. Do you say that? Like all of this also
Yeah.
has a large influence on my art. So it wouldn't be possible. I realized that it became more and more difficult for me to share my art and my projects without sharing that part of me, because
Yeah,
a part
because
of me
they
is
they are super integrated, and
yeah.
it's like with without following the whole journey all along, I don't know if I would get the artworks that you are at currently. With the like 5 year, because I don't know if you know, but we met each other like 6 years ago, and we said that we will craft one day together. So maybe next 6 years. Yeah, but I don't know if I would connect those dots. I would still say that it's your style, but your girls developed to those little goddesses, and that's how I see your oracle collection, as the collection of different goddesses. You have the goddess of fire, you have the goddess of water, of the forest, and of the mountains. Love it, and everyone can find something for themselves. Okay, so we will wrap it up. People, all the links to Andrea's profiles are in the no, wait, the description box will be here on this side. In the description box, you have her website, and you can check out over there for her really cool projects, for her really cool products, because I think that you still have few over there. I will share the when we will say goodbyes. I will put up before the outro. I will put up last pictures that we didn't touch today, but probably we'll have to meet up and continue conversation. So go and check out Andrea's profiles. Check out her classes, because online classes. Why, if you are up for learning something, why not now? Why to wait? Just do it now. And the results are really cool, because I knew a few people who started watercolors with you, and now they are doing it on their own, and everything just changed. And I bet that they thought, oh, I don't need classes at the beginning. So check it out, and thank you everyone for showing up, and thank you, Andrea, for really amazing conversation, and for sharing so much good vibes online.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everybody for watching. I don't see any comments. I hope there. I don't know. Maybe it's has somebody. There was somebody right watching. Because I can't see any comments or anything. But
I put up some of them on the screen, but sometimes when we chit chat with each other, guys on the chat chat with each other as well. So I might lose some comments, but if there will be anything that I will not know how to reply, I will get back to you with about that. Okay, and thank you, Leanne, for being very brave and joining us today.
You're welcome.
I hope that
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed yourself. Okay, so I will take us off the screen. Again, thank you, ladies. Let's start with Liren and Andrea. Okay, and I will, before I will go, I just want to put up an info for you, because Andrea, like me, we both have some products out there that are also sold with the copyright strikes. Let's put it right like that for YouTube. So before I will end up, I will leave you with some cool pictures to look at, and yeah, see you next week.